Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been a long, and I mean a very long off season, but we've made it. You know why I'm here. I know why you're here. It is time. I can't even believe these words are coming out of my mouth. It is time for the Alabama versus the Florida State Seminoles Week 1 preview. Clap it up. Hey, getting a little freaky on it. No, did he? But like I was saying, it is time for the Alabama-Florida State preview. I'm ecstatic. I am ecstatic. It's no like, oh, it's around the corner. It's soon. No, it is here. We are a few days away. It is Tuesday as to when I'm making this video. Should be up by Tuesday. No, not should be. What are we talking about? We'll be up by the way. Everybody clap it up. The MBG Sweatshop. Well, good news for you guys, bad news for your boy Matt as the CEO, janitor, CFO, manager, president, vice president, director of operations. The list goes on and on. I'm the one-man show. I do it all. But like I was saying, very bad news for Matt. The MBG Sweatshop is officially open, and it will not close 24/7 like 7-Eleven or a Buc-ee's, whatever stays open all the time, until I'd say around the end of February. We got a long 4 to 5, 6 month stretch on our hands, but we've done this before. You know how it goes. No more of this like in the off season, one video every day, one video every couple of days. No. 2 to 3 videos every single day. You know how we do things around here. By the way, I want to throw this in there. On our recent Texas versus Ohio State video, I posted that video on Sunday night, and I was checking out the analytics on Monday morning, and within 8, 9, 10 hours, we gained 37 subscribers off of that video alone. So thank you all the new subscribers. I did want to throw that in there. I don't really push for people subscribing anymore like I used to on the channel because it's relatively simple. Most of you are like me. If you like somebody's content on YouTube, you're going to subscribe. You don't need somebody to keep beating in your head, hey, subscribe to my channel, You get the point. But I do want to express a warm welcome to all the new subscribers that are joining us for this college football season. I am more than excited to have you here, part of our community. And for all the people that have been here for many, many years, you know I'm grateful and thank you. We got a really interesting season upon our hands. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. You will be seeing my face here soon. You're probably going to see it on Friday night. Live reaction Matt will be returning like he is Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movie 2. Shout out to Tobey Maguire. Not the new Spider-Mans. I'm talking about Spider-Man 2 from 2004 with Dr. Ock. If you know, you know. White Randy is back. This community's up and rolling. The comment section, well, it's picked up right where it's left off from last year, which is to be expected. By the way, if you are a new subscriber and you think people are going to be talking about football in our comment section, you are going to be sadly mistaken. If you have no idea what I'm referring to, just go to this comment section and you'll see. I'm not even saying sorry for this long-winded intro because there's a lot of people that only tune into the channel, which is totally fine, from August until January, prime college football season. So I haven't seen a bunch of you in 5 to 6 months. It's nice to catch up with all of you, but moving along here, we got to get on track with this game itself. We got number 8 ranked, that sounds weird to say heading into the season, Alabama versus the Cinnamon Rolls. Well, where do we begin? The Seminoles, to put it nicely, they were awful last year. They sucked. That's sugarcoating it. There's some other choice words you could throw in there. I'm just going to say they sucked. 2-10, it was abysmal, but we all know this. Do you need me to sit up here and continue to knock a man or knock a team when they're down? I don't think so. Florida State fans, they know they sucked. It is what it is. But they now got a fresh look at quarterback. The Thomas Castellanos dude, he's coming in from Boston College. If you don't know who he is, he's the quarterback who quit on Boston College in the middle of the season. Him and Bill O'Brien, a.k.a. Bob, they were butting heads. Wouldn't be the first time somebody's butted heads with Bob. He left Boston College. He's heading to Florida State. And I'm going to let Bama fans know right now, a little warning and disclaimer. If you think you're just going to terrorize this, he is a small man. What is he about? He's like Kyler Murray, 5'8". I don't know to be exact, but he's a smaller guy. If you think the Alabama defense is just going to rip him to shreds, you are sadly mistaken. This guy is hard to get on the ground. And I do expect it to be not a really frustrating game for Alabama, but it's going to be frustrating at times. He has that, I'm not comparing him, but the Gianni Manziel slipperiness to him, I shall say. It's hard to sack this guy. He may go out there and go 10 for 30, and you're going to say, well, Matt, I thought he was going to give us some problems. I'm not talking about through the air. I'm talking about on the ground. I think a lot of Alabama edge rushers are going to get to him, but I don't think the first man there is going to necessarily tackle him. That's my early prediction for this game. As far as it goes for the quarterback play, there's many more things we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Alabama a little bit. It's kind of a similar thing to Florida State, right? Do you want me to sit up here and remind you of how embarrassing last year was? It's weird to say because most teams would take a 9-3 regular season. You were one spot away. Alabama, should they made the playoff? Absolutely not. Were they better than SMU? I think so. But here's the thing. I said it last year. I'm going to say it again. Neither Alabama or SMU deserved to be in that playoff. Nobody did, but you had to throw somebody in there. And Alabama fans, it wouldn't matter if you got into the playoff. That Alabama team was not good. Probably would have lost the first or second game. Most certainly were not winning a national championship. I don't care what any of you say, especially with Milroe just not looking good, to say the least, at the tail end of the year. And that Michigan game and the meaningless, what was it, the ReliaQuest Bowl. Whew, that was the worst I've ever seen them look. But that's besides the point. That's last year. We're not going to dwell on that too much. You beat Georgia. You're on top of the world. All these players' egos are through the roof. Oh, my gosh, we just beat Georgia. Heck, maybe we're better without Saban. Maybe he was holding us back. And then, boom! Just like that, you get smacked by the nerds. I'm going to say it one more time. The nerds. Shaking my head. I wish I could see me. That's what I'm doing. Shaking my head. You know how embarrassing that was, even thinking about it? I don't even want to talk about it too much. It is so embarrassing. It should be talked about more. I mean, that's a game you're going to tell your kids about in 30 years. Where were you when the nerds upset number 1 Alabama? What's even worse about it is Vanderbilt was renovating their stadium. They didn't even have a home crowd. There was more Alabama fans there than Vandy fans. So really, I know it's not classified, but low-key, it was a home game for Alabama. I'm telling you, it was. I know multiple people, Bama fans at that went to the game. And Vandy doesn't have a big fan base because, well, they're the nerds. You give up a 40-burger to Diego Pavia. Much respect to him. He is a good quarterback. I'm not going to say he's great. He's a good quarterback. He balled out, but you didn't lose that game because of Diego Pavia. You lost it because you're undisciplined. And think about it, it wasn't just Pavia that beat you. The tight end, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's all SEC. Shout out to him from Vanderbilt. The Vanderbilt defense had a big hit on Milroe, forced a fumble turnover. There was a 4th and 1 play where Pavia throws it up. They get a 40-yard touchdown. Everything that could have went wrong for Alabama went wrong. But even with that embarrassing loss to Vanderbilt, you can regroup. But you lose to Tennessee on the road. Just penalties after penalties. Kendrick Law gets that dumb penalty. And then at the end of the year, arguably, I had some people say that this was more embarrassing than the Vandy game. It's just not to me because it is embarrassing, but Vandy's Vandy, man. If you know, you know. Losing to Oklahoma is not embarrassing. You go into Norman, Oklahoma, you put up 3. Technically they put up 3. Really, they put up 10. That Ryan Williams flag. We don't talk about it because it's irrelevant. Alabama still loses the game, but they had some phantom call on a Ryan Williams touchdown, got called back. Then Alabama turns it over on downs. They lose 24-3. And then you play in the meaningless bowl game. Who cares if you win or lose that one? Not a good year for Alabama. That's your little short recap. But it is a fresh start. It seems like Kalen DeBoer, and this is what head coaches got to do in year one. It appears to seem that he's gotten all the cancer cells out of the locker room. I like Kendrick Law. I'm not going to label – well, it kind of is like a cancer cell. Kendrick Law, he's a wide receiver, for those of you who don't know. He didn't buy in, and when you don't buy in, you butt heads, and by default, you are a cancer cell. He's gone, and it's not just him. There's 10 to 1,500 guys that left that didn't want to be there. Now, everyone actually on the Alabama team, at least heading into the season, it could change. You never know. They want to be there. They're buying in. Ty Simpson's quarterback. We'll talk about him in just a second. I would say the mood around this program, I've talked to multiple of my sources all throughout this week, it's different. It's completely different from last year. Everyone's bought into what Kalen DeBoer is preaching. With that being said, let's address the elephant in the room. I didn't mean for that pun because Alabama, elephants. But Matt, just shut up. Sorry. Who has more talent in this game? Alabama, Florida State. 1, 2, 3. We'll say it all together. Alabama. Way more talent, not even close. Bigger, better offensive line. Bigger, better defensive line. Better corners. Better wide receivers. Quarterback plays questionable. You don't know there. Better everything. Dang near. Alabama's a better team, but Alabama was also the better team than Vandy last year, and we saw what happened. What I would look forward to, or what I am going to look forward to, if I were you, I would look forward to the most, isn't the big-time plays. It's how disciplined will Alabama be. And here's what I'm talking about when I say discipline. I'm talking about when there's a read option, if it's whoever's on the edge, are you going to fill your assignment, stick to your assignment, or are you going to chase the ball? That's why Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, and that's why Jackson Arnold ate him up in that option read as well. They're just following the ball. You have to stick to your assignment and let all the other 10 guys, let them do their assignment. If they fail, that's not on you. That's on them. Worry about you. If you got the quarterback and Castellanos is doing a read option, it don't matter if you think you can make a play in the backfield on the running back. You got the quarterback, so you sit there and wait on him. Pay attention to that. I'm going to enlighten Alabama fans on some terrible news. Do you know who the offensive coordinator is for the Seminoles? You may be familiar with this guy. Gus Malzahn, one of the very few head coaches to ever have success against Nick Saban. Does that worry me a lot? No, because this is a Nick Saban coach team. But, it doesn't make me feel at ease. I'll put it to you like that. This leads me into my next point perfectly. I'm going to go over the keys for Alabama, then we'll go over the keys for Florida State. Alabama first. Discipline on defense. I don't even care if you give up chunk plays. If Castellanos throws a 60, 70-yard bomb over your head, you're going to live with that. Make him beat you through the air. That's number one. Number two. Can't harp on this enough. You have got to run the ball. I'm so glad Nick Sheridan's gone. Remember, Alabama's got a new offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb. If you don't know who that is, that's Kalen DeBoer's partner in crime. It's the Robin to his Batman. He was at Washington. He's now at Alabama. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. I'm so excited to see how that's going to fare out. And he's already stated, hey, we're going to run the ball way more this year. Run the ball. Last year, Alabama only ran the ball with Jalen Milroe. That's a problem because he's the quarterback. He's not the running back. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Act like I said that 5,000 more times. Numero 3-0. Last thing. It's the only checkpoint left. Ty Simpson, quarterback's most important position on the field. He touches the ball in every single play. You have to play like Greg McElroy. You have to play like A.J. McCarron. And you have to play like Mac Jones. Ironically enough, those are all white dudes. I just thought about that. But seriously, what did all three of those guys have in common? It's not a trick question. They were game managers. But game manager is not a bad term, guys. You know all three of those guys I just listed off have won national championships? Oh, yeah, a fourth one. Oh, my gosh. How could I do him a disservice? Jake Coker, a.k.a. Jacob Coker, whatever you like to call him. That's 4 guys. And guess what? All 4 of them, national championships. What Alabama national championships? Don't do nothing flashy. You're going to get 5 to 10, 15 to 50-yard passes a game. If you hit them, great. If not, don't put the ball in harm's way. Don't put it in jeopardy. You got all this talent surrounding you. You got Ryan Williams. You got the great running back play, great offensive line. If it's 1st and 10, you don't see nothing, throw it out of bounds. That's what good game managers do. Throwing it out of bounds isn't always a bad thing. Or even, this is like something we talked about with Shedeur Sanders. 1st and 10, you do a play action, and you see pressure coming, just fall down, take the 5-yard sack. It's much easier to recover from 2nd and 15 than 2nd and 25. You see what I'm saying? Ty Simpson, don't be a hero. I don't want you to play scared, but don't be a hero. And that's more so of really, I know he's the one throwing the ball, but that's on Ryan Grubb. You got to get him comfortable early, get some short passes. You know what I'm about to say, all the cliche stuff with game managers. Nothing crazy. Get you some bubble screens. I know people don't like those, but they get you in a rhythm. It's like in basketball, great analogy. For me, myself, White Randy back in the glory days, and if you play basketball, you know this. If you're a scorer, man, if you're struggling in the first quarter, you know what gets you going? Attacking the rim, getting fouled, and hitting a couple free throws. Seeing that ball go through the net on a free throw or a layup, oh, yeah, that gets the score going. Same thing here. Get them some dump-offs to the tight end. I don't want to see a first play bomb to Ryan Williams. No. Because the worst thing that could happen to Ty Simpson is he loses his confidence, throws an interception, a pick six, something like that. Nice and easy. That's it for Alabama. Do I think there's a case and scenario where Florida State can shut them down on defense? No. If Alabama doesn't do good on offense, that's going to be on Alabama. Let's talk about the keys for Florida State. I'll give you 3 for them. On defense, get pressure on Simpson. Any young quarterback, if you can get pressure on him, heat them up, it makes them uncomfortable. And when do people make bad decisions? When they're uncomfortable. Do not blitz 3 or 4 the whole game. I'd like to see on 2nd and 10, you send 6 at him. You send 7. Heat him up early. If he beats you over the top, it's the same thing I said for Alabama. You just clap it up to him. Hey, that was a good 50-yard throw to Ryan Williams. We'll give it up to you. That's it. That's it for Florida State. Get pressure on Ty Simpson. I don't think they're going to be very successful at stopping Alabama's run game. So by default, when you get them in a 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 12, you got to heat up the quarterback, and you're going to have to get some sacks. And kind of the corny and cliche thing everybody says, oh, well, they got to force turnovers. No crap, dummy. It'd be nice for you to force turnovers, but you can't really bank on that. Number 2 for Florida State on offense, stay ahead of the chains. When it's 1st and 10, I don't want to see a pass play every single time. I know one of your best players is your quarterback, but I'd like to see you try to at least. I don't think they're going to be great at it, but try to and make Alabama respect the run, make them fear. Because if you show Alabama, hey, we're going to throw the ball 40, 50 times, those edge rushers get to pin their ears back. That's not good for Castellanos. Even if, and it's why you see it in the NFL. Your casual fans don't understand this. The NFL, if you get a 2 to 3 yard rush on 1st and 2nd down, that is a win. College, not so much, but it's a win in the NFL. Why? It keeps the defense respecting you. Do not abandon the run game, Florida State. Keep pounding it. I don't care at halftime if you got 15 rushes for 50 yards. Keep trying to run the game. It's at least going to keep Alabama honest. Numero 3-0, the last checkpoint for Florida State, or the last key, my apologies. You know I'm about to say next. Similar for Alabama, your quarterback play. If you want to win this game, it's not rocket science. Castellanos has to play good. I'm not even going to say he has to play great. Well, he probably does, but you get my point. He plays bad, you're not going to have a shot. He goes out there, 15 for 35, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. You're going to lose, and it's going to be by a lot. But if he goes out there, we'll say 14 for 20, 175 passing yards, 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers. That's key. 2 touchdowns and has 10 rushes for 80 yards. Oh, yeah. Florida State can pull off this upset. Let me make this clear. Florida State can win this game. I know we like to joke on them, but they can win. There's no question in my mind about it. There's a reason they're not favored to win, but I think they can win. I'm about to give you my prediction, but here's the last thing I'm going to say. This quarterback situation is really intriguing to me because when you look at our other top 5 matchup, Texas and Ohio State, those are 2 young bucks, Arch Manning, Julian Sayin, who haven't started up until this. I think Arch Manning might have started 1, but you get what I'm saying. Haven't played much. What's weird about this one is it's new quarterbacks for both teams, Ty Simpson and Thomas Castellanos. But both of them are somewhat vets. Ty Simpson's been at Alabama now for 3 to 4 years, and Castellanos has been playing college football for, 3 to 4, 5 years, something like that. These are guys that are ready to go, and they've overcome adversity multiple times in their career. So even if there's a situation where Alabama's up 17-0 to start the game, I don't think Florida State's out of it just quite yet. Castellanos will bounce back. Vice versa. If Alabama's down, we'll say 10-0, I don't think you should be panicking if you're a Bama fan because Ty Simpson, he's been resilient his entire career. He'll bounce back. All in all, though, you got to be a complete idiot and fool to pick the Cinnamon Rolls to win this game. Like I said, they can win this game, but my goal as someone who analyzes sports and you make predictions is to make the best educated guess possible. And I've talked to multiple coaches in this industry, offensive coordinators, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, all the big-time guys, and they all say the same thing. It doesn't matter how good of a coach you are or you think you are. If you don't have dudes, you're not going to win. Guess who has the most dudes, dogs, players, whatever you want to call them in this game? Alabama. So I got to roll with the tide. I'll take Alabama in this one, 31 to Florida State's respectable 17. Alabama 31, Florida State 17. I'm curious. I'm going to know your thoughts down below.